Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Taurus, December 3, 2022. You may be dealing with poor instructions or foggy thinking at times today, with Mercury square Neptune. Others may not know the whole story or may not be revealing it. It's not easy to see things in a realistic light. While indulging in fantasy can be therapeutic, the trick will be to do so in the right situations. It's too easy to become distracted, which can signal the need for a change of pace or mental refreshment. Happily, a Venus-Saturn transit is also in play, especially later today. You may very well delight in some stability and steadiness, and you're drawn to someone wise and mature. Or, it's a time for bonding with a person through your values or beliefs, connecting with a subject or guide, and enjoying a sense that you're learning something valuable. Developing useful skills is taking more precedence over innovative new techniques now. Your planetary ruler, Mercury, always brings you opportunities for growth and adventure when he's in a great mood, but today, he's going to feel like he's fuming. Prepare for poisonous energy as our cosmic messenger clashes with Neptune, the planet of delusion, addiction, and misery. This means that you need to take some time to clear your head and must absolutely not make any significant decisions about your romantic or personal life. If you do, it could blow up in your face publicly. This wouldn't ultimately make you happy. Stand in your integrity and let the chance for gossip pass. Have a clear perception of where your commitments should lead. You might feel somewhat torn and uncertain when Venus in Sagittarius opposes Mars retrograde in your sign while Mercury in Sagittarius squares Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Figuring out who and what to commit to is a learning process, one that will require plenty of communication and collaboration. After all, you might have a clearer perspective of your overarching career path, but you may be unsure as to how your commitments play into it. Experiment to see who and what will aid in your professional success long term. While you wait for Venus and Mercury's return to your financial sector next week, even the money gods are encouraging you to keep your professional hat on today. It is the moon's alignment with both Jupiter and Neptune before leaving your career sector today that is giving you insight into the planets that are creating the professional momentum that Mars will capitalize on when he finally returns to your income sector next year. For some time, you've been sensing a basic indecisiveness in yourself and the rest of the world. The astral energy is giving those who are sensitive the feeling that things could change any time. This day's aspect tickles your desire to make things all right for everyone you care about. The lesson you need to glean from this is to care for your own needs first. Be certain to drink plenty of water, take vitamins, and exercise on a daily basis. A new month is starting, full of possibilities, and with this number's essence in the air, you'll be off to a great start. With expression being such a vital part of your nature, consider thinking of new and different ways you can engage in this. Look to creative outlets as well as verbal methods. If you've always thought it would be great to write a screenplay, go for it. If it's clay that speaks to you, pick some up. Whatever your interest, make this month the one you get started on it. The moon is spending its final hours in an adventurous part of your chart aligned with Jupiter and Neptune, just as one is giving you the confidence to embrace the journey ahead while the other is holding the doors open to the past and second chances. It is the timing that makes this significant, with the planets of luck and dreams able to use any tension over the last few days to not only better understand when to keep your work hat on and when to take it off, but to see this as a priority. Before leaving an adventurous part of your chart today, the moon will amplify a mix of romance, adventure, and nostalgia in the air. With the focus set to shift onto your relationships next week, today's adventurous lunar vibes are not only amplifying the spirit of adventure but the romantic influence of recent weeks. Our eyes in the sky. This could be a strenuous day. Be mindful of releasing any tension you might pick up by focusing on your breath and relaxing your shoulders. Problems might appear larger than they actually are at first, so keep a level head if you experience any bumps in the road. Try to understand that you're the victim of projection by others, and don't take their harsh words to heart. The moon in Pisces squares Mercury in Sagittarius, giving you a chance to speak up. In an effort for you to stay focused on your work, you are likely to get misinformation that may throw you off track. If something sounds suspicious, feel free to take the time to double-check it instead of hastily moving on without question. Remember that it's okay to go off script if it helps your emotional state to deviate from your usual routine. Ultimately, the main message is to not be overly critical of or hard on yourself or others. The details you neglected on a recent project are catching up to you and backfiring. You may need to readjust your position today in order to get back on track with the correct procedure. Admit your mistakes instead of covering them up and move on. Dealing with financial matters in a totally relaxed way, others may be stressed and fearful, but you cope with the situation in a straightforward and calm manner. You are courageous enough to act at the right moment and to make profits. Don't overdo it, because pride comes before a fall, and you would ruin all you achieved. Your encounters run smoothly and amicably, like a peaceful flowing river. Family and friends would love to ride this wave with you. You now have the opportunity to resolve old conflicts and hurts and to move forward united. If you are smart about it, you will strengthen ties to your loved ones. Tonight brings a nice, cozy vibe, so plan to stay in for the evening. You'll likely need to recharge after the day is done. After midnight, the Pisces moon squares off with retrograde Mars in Gemini, prompting us to make irrational choices. We believe we are judging a situation accurately, when in truth, we're extra sensitive to small and even imagined slights. This causes us to respond to fictional threats in largely unconscious ways. The assumption that we must defend ourselves through speech may be premature. Keep this in mind before acting or reacting. Work conversations today may be completely over your head. Don't pretend that you know what is going on if you do not. It is better to ask questions than to make believe that you understand when that is not necessarily the case. According to plan, work commitments are easily dealt with, leaving you time to devote to things you're interested in or find more important. Your warm-hearted way of dealing with people you care for assures you the satisfaction and contentment you require, which you get from the affectionate response received in return. In the late afternoon, Mercury in Sagittarius squares off with Neptune in Pisces, exacerbating the day's erratic energy. This is a transit of poor judgment calls. Contractual affairs should be avoided outright. There are likely to be loopholes or vague verbiage that cause us to think we're agreeing to one thing when we are signing on to something quite different. Yet, while we are perhaps more susceptible to manipulation tactics now, given both planets squaring in optimistic, Jupiter-ruled signs, the real enemy is our tendency towards self-deception. We want to believe. The desire to have our biases confirmed places us in a vulnerable position.